What is going on, guys? Welcome to another. We got another What If episode from Marvel and Disney Plus. This is What If episode 2. So, this is going to be a review, and then we're going to dive into the spoilers. So, we'll have a spoiler discussion. But before you do that, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and right off the bat, I enjoyed this episode more than I did What If episode 1. I thought this was a better paced episode. It was still fast paced, but you could still you could actually breathe in this episode. There was, I think, towards the middle, there was like 33 minutes. It was a 33-minute episode, including the intro and the credits. And like towards the middle of the episode, it really started kind of a little bit slow down. So if you don't know, now you know, and I'm pretty sure you watched the episode and you're joining me here. So this is all about T'Challa. And what if T'Challa got taken by the Ravengers and became Star Lord? I didn't. I, First of all, my God, it hit the feels. It really hits the heart, because Chadwick Boseman, I really enjoyed him as T'Challa, and tragically he did pass. So this was I don't know, man. Like I never really kind of like, celebrities deaths. It's shocking and it hits you a little bit. But this Chadwick was a kind of cat that really hits you. So seeing this is going to be his, I believe he's in a couple 3 episodes of the series, but seeing the final voice work, the final performance of Chadwick Boseman, it really hits hard, man. And I'm glad that they started off right. I was kind of I was wondering, am I gonna like this version of Star Lord as being T'Challa? But it was great. He was really good. It really he had this James Bond-esque kind of deal to him. There's a little bit of Ocean's 11 or Ocean's 12-ness to there, like a heist film type scenario in this episode. You have a lot of the cast return to voice. You have a lot of crazy, like I didn't think there little cameos in here or even part of the story where I didn't think it was going to happen. And I was like, whoa, I was kind of blown away by that. There is some voice actors where I felt like it sucks that they couldn't get everybody to reprise their role in the past or in present Marvel films, because I think it really kind of it throws you off a little bit. Like you have like mostly everybody doing coming back and doing voice work for their characters, but then there's like 1 or 2 characters that don't. And I think Steve last episode did a great job, the voice actor on that one. But I think this episode it really would have like elevated the episode a little bit more if they actually got every single person to come back for the voice work. Because it really like I had a lot of fun with this, man. There's a lot of fun seeing past characters and even like come back in this episode. So this episode by far I think was a lot better than the first episode. I think it actually has a little bit more heart. There's a family element to it as well. The animation, once again, in the beginning, it kind of like the past 2 episodes, you had to get used to it. Once you start watching it, then you start like really kind of getting into it, getting used to it. So, no problem with the animation. I like it. It's really fast movement. Really, it flows really fast. I think that's why the pacing gets fast too, because the action sequences are quick. The action sequences in this episode was pretty good, not too bad. There is some issues I have with it, which I'll get into the spoilers, but let's just get into the spoilers now. And I'll tell you right now, if I had to rate it, what's up, James? Yeah, blah blah blah. If I had to rate it, I would give it a solid. I think I gave Agent Carter the first episode a 7.5 out of 10. I'm gonna give this one a. I'm gonna go solid 8 out of 10. It is definitely an improvement from the first episode. I would give it a solid 8 out of 10. I might even go as high as 8.5 out of 10. But let's get into the spoilers. I think that we're all here for the spoilers to really dive into this. So spoilers from now on. If you guys want to put down in the comment section, please let me know your thoughts on why you liked the episode, why you didn't like the episode, and we can go back and forth and explain. Maybe we're on the same page. But I mean, don't get me wrong, James. Don't get me wrong. Um, I really enjoyed the hell out of this episode. I just think the pacing still is a little bit off though. I still think that damn, it is quick in the beginning of this episode once again. But what I appreciate, they do a little bit of the Guardians of the Galaxy movie in the beginning, you know, when Star Lord is getting the orb with the Infinity Stone in there, and then of course you got the guy who says who comes in who's working for Ronan, and then he's like, "You might know me from my name, Star Lord," and you know the guy who says, "Who?" you know, I love the fact that so the humor. Okay, the humor is really a hit and miss in here. I think they go a little bit way too overboard on the humor, but there is funny moments in here. I really like the fact that you know this Star Lord, T'Challa Star Lord, is such a cool, like he's such a cool cat. Like everybody love. He's basically Captain Marvel. So you know how at the end of Captain Marvel, she says she's going to go off and save all the other planets, this and that, you know, help everybody else. That's basically what T'Challa was doing while he was Star Lord. It's this. I find it very odd that Yondu, because you got to remember Yondu in Guardians of the Galaxy, he was like cold hearted, so to speak, but you know. Star Lord made him like they gave his character a father figure kind of type role, especially in the second movie. But in this one, they take T'Challa, T'Challa, and Yandu's like, you got the wrong kid, you know. And I appreciate that Taserface is back in this one, which is hilarious, and I believe it's the same actor too. And then James Gunn's brother voices his character once again. So they take T'Challa, and he's saying, you got the wrong kid. You're telling me that Yondu, even though T'Challa's like, you know, I know I'm an explorer, and you know, well, kid, here's you could explore all this. You're telling me that Yondu wouldn't put that kid to little T'Challa back? You wouldn't drop his ass back down and say like, go get the right kid? I thought that was a little bit weird and odd. I don't think Yondu would have done that, but you got to get the story to go right. So I really loved how T'Challa, I can't remember his name. I know the actor is Dijin. He's a really cool guy, good actor. He's been in a lot of stuff. I really liked him as the Elder from Shazam. So he's kind of pretty much saying like he's so in love with T'Challa, like, respects him, and like they get in this little tussle, just like in the Guardians of the Galaxy. But T'Challa's so cool. He's so James Bond for sure. And then I do like how he recruits him. He recruits him. He's part of the Ravagers. He's part of the crew. I like that. I like I said, I thought the humor went a little bit too long. They try to be a little bit too jokey in it. But I did appreciate the fact that, you know, after that particular scene where they escape, it doesn't stay at Guardians of the Galaxy film like, you know, Agent Carter did for the first Avenger, Captain America. It was just kind of like a rehash of it. They really did something new with it, which is great. I mean, just, and then it kind of it definitely absolutely makes sense for T'Challa really wanting to, you know, help the galaxy and absolutely prosper the galaxy. He helps so much. He's beloved by everybody. He is able to convince Thanos to stop his evil ways, which I thought the joke of the genocide joke was pretty funny because Thanos is just trying to convince everybody why this would work. Like there's a lot of changes of the what if. You know, there's Thanos having like this Deadpool kind of type of outfit. His big change. The Thanos reveal was pretty nuts. I didn't expect that at all. So that was a great surprise. Josh Brolin reprising his role as voice actor. See, that's great. That's A++ right there. You got to get everybody back. You even have the assistant from the Collector who makes an appearance in this episode, which I really appreciate. The Collector himself, dude, the biggest change was that guy. Like the dude was huge. He was a fucking He-Man in this episode. So that surprised me too. Hate that I'm 1,000% sure that's not Benicio del Toro. Was very sad that Benicio del Toro didn't voice his voice for this character. So that was one of the biggest change. Nebula. Nebula being a Bond girl. I do like that though. I thought that was pretty cool. Of course, same voice actress. So there's a lot of changes that happen because T'Challa is Star Lord. A lot of changes for the good. So I do like that aspect of it, and I do like how they get into the heist kind of part of everything. That's what got me a lot of Ocean's 11 vibes to it. You got the music going on, like that Cowboy Bebop kind of music going on. I do. I don't know if it's a. I don't know why they didn't use the Guardians of the Galaxy theme in this episode. They wanted. You could tell they wanted to, but they never really used it. So I was just like, what gives, you know? Let's get into the comments real quick. Let's see. So Lucky, welcome Lucky. What you think about the episode? Let me rate the episode, please, Lucky, if you liked it, you disliked it, and be sure to subscribe. But man, Thanos really trying to push that snap. It was so funny. That was a good joke. That was a good running joke. You had him. It was so just puzzling though, the Mad Titan being this like, and just the animation giving him the animation giving him like this glow of just absolutely, the happy-go-lucky Thanos. It was very funny that how he explains his plan to at the very end when they go back to Wakanda. So I thought that was very funny. You can only do Captain America one way. I don't. I'm gonna say. Well, then again, James, you know more comics than I do, but I feel like you can maybe do a little something different like that. I just kind of appreciate. I just kind of wanted. I don't know. I think the problem with the first episode is just way fast, way too fast. It went through a lot very fast. The collection that the collector had good Easter eggs. Absolutely. Absolutely. And of course, Howard the Duck. I think Howard the Duck was voiced by Seth Green. Is that his name? Seth Green from Robot Chicken and Austin Powers. So the collector, of course, the collection, you're going to have a lot of Easter eggs, a lot of cool things going on in there. Even the collector using his collection against which out Wolverine against T'Challa. You had, you can see the Cap shield. You had was it Hela's horns that he uses. You had what did I see? It was what did I see? They really kind of left a shot there so you could see all the like little Easter eggs right there. So that was pretty cool. Yeah, and I do agree, Lucky. I think I'd give it I give it an 8. I give it a solid 8 out of 10. It definitely was a lot. I enjoyed this episode a lot more than the first episode. So going from also talking in the episode, so the one thing I didn't like was, okay, so Thanos, I get that he he left his evil ways. He's basically, he's a different Thanos. T'Challa's showing them the light. The problem I have with Thanos is he is super nerfed in this episode. He's very weak in this episode. Now you could argue that in Infinity War and in Endgame, he had the Infinity Stones, he had the gauntlet, whatever. But remember, he didn't have all that when he kicked, I believe, Hulk's. I don't think he had all that when he kicked the Hulk's ass. Like he literally just destroyed the Hulk with hand-to-hand combat. So in this episode, which I thought was pretty neat, that his whole crew from Infinity War was the what if scenario, it was all working with the collector. Now they do a a distraction for T'Challa and Yondu to get into the collection, the collector's collection, and Thanos and everybody gets hit with this like strike that like just just knocks everybody out. And for me, I was just like, I don't know, I don't know, Thanos wouldn't be like hit that hard with that kind of attack. And not only that, later on he's like taking on a lot of enemies and stuff. And I just feel like he would have just done better. It didn't matter if he changed like his attitude towards life or his plan or whatever. He's still like one of the, like he said, mad. He's the Mad Titan. Like I feel like he's a hell of a lot. He beat Hulk, and I guess you could say, because this is a different Thanos, the power levels probably not as, maybe his training throughout his years was just not as good as the Thanos that we know from Infinity War. I don't know. I just felt like he should have been a lot more stronger in this episode if you're going to introduce Thanos. But I do like the overall. It's kind of it's just really funny to see Thanos just like not the bad guy and Josh Brolin reprising his role. So I thought that was pretty funny. Let's see. Do you think Peter's mom will come to play as entity in some way or eternity? Sorry. I thought that was really cool too. At the very end of the episode, you had Peter working at shit. What was it? He was working at that little fast food joint, and then you had Ego finally finding Peter. And yeah, and then the watcher like just gives this ominous kind of like conclusion of that thing. He says there's like what, like a war coming or something bad's going to happen, but that's another story for another day. So you most likely, because T'Challa is supposed to be back in two, or Chadwick Boseman is supposed to be voicing two more episodes after this, his final two performances. Now I don't Dairy Queen. That's right, it was Dairy Queen. Love me some Dairy Queen. Not the food so much, the ice cream. The So I think it seems like they could set it up. They could, like, Agent Carter is now in a present world. T'Challa is back at Wakanda with his crew. So they could set up like at the very end, because you have that commercial where they're all kind of like fighting with the fighting and together like an Avengers type crew. And at the last episode, I think it's called like, Avengers of the Multiverse. So I could see something like them all forming a team. This is a lot of the setup, for the finale, for this team to be formed, and then you get like different kind of villains. So maybe the let's see. No, I think the wouldn't the mom still die in that scenario, because Ego, yeah, because Ego, she was what happened? Yeah, because Ego would have implanted. He said he gave her cancer, like in Guardians of the Galaxy 2. So there's nothing that changes that in this scenario, right? I mean, the only thing that changes is that Peter doesn't become somebody, but the mother's death, I think, would still happen, I believe. So I don't think it really changes that much. But Ego is a Ego and Peter, what they can do and be like some of the main villains, that'd be pretty nuts. I thought I was the one thing I was disappointed in that first episode was Red Skull's demise. So not knowing that if they do move forward and they're bringing like a team together, like Red Skull's done. So that's kind of disappointing. I think Gamora is going to be more of Thanos. Like, ooh, James, no, that's a great idea, because yeah, we didn't see Gamora. We saw Nebula, and Nebula is definitely different. I thought the whole dad, I thought the whole relationship with Nebula and Thanos was kind of is interesting. How T'Challa's like, I was trying to get him counseling and all that stuff, but it would make total sense if Gamora was like a Thanos, because Gamora, in the movies, she's not as powerful as in the comics. In the comics, she's more of a badass. She's like a beast. So that's what a lot of people complained about a little bit on the movies. It's just, I love Zoe Saldana. I think she's amazing. She kicks ass as Gamora, in my opinion. But I do agree, she needs to be a hell of a lot stronger, and she has that opportunity since it's a different Gamora in the movies. But if you're saying that she's more like Thanos in this what if scenario, that would be pretty dope. A ruthless, she is a ruthless assassin, So I would love to see that, and especially Thanos and the Nebula team up to go up against Gamora, and also like a T'Challa and Gamora interaction would be pretty nice. That'd be very interesting as well. Was it just me, or did we all think Killmonger, when he did return to Wakanda? I don't know. I was just getting that Killmonger kind of like in the back of my mind when they did return to Wakanda. I want to see T'Challa. I want to see a splice of T'Challa as Black Panther / Star-Lord. That'd be pretty dope. His gear was pretty cool, but I would like to see like a costume design on that if they go that route. I like. Oh, that's right. Thor's hammer was in there. Cap shield. Also the ships from Xandar. That's absolutely right. So Ronan gets mentioned in this episode, and I thought he was going to make maybe appearance, but he did not. So maybe later on, if it's all connected. So Ronan gets. It's crazy because Thanos is good now, and then Ronan is still like bad. So how is what if she's holding a big deal sword? What? Give it away. Give it away in the poster of what if she's holding a big sword. Are you saying like there the poster? Agent Carter was holding that big sword. She does. Yeah, she does have the sword on. At the end of the first episode. She has a sword, I think, in the commercial that they did too, I believe. So I guess that's a big thing. So she has a sword. Um, so yeah, let's get back to the episode. The episode, like I said, the collector was humongous. The dude was huge. I really appreciate Howard the Duck being. I thought he was gonna be with him like the whole time though. After like he released him, I was like, okay, so Howard the Duck's the guide, and I thought he was gonna be there for a while, but he wasn't. He just kind of he went to the bar and got another drink, and that was it. Who else? Of course, I don't think Dave Batista voiced um Drax. Drax was in there. He's a bartender. It's nice that they give you a little like they tell you like his family's still alive and he's taking a picture with the great Star Lord. So that was pretty dope. Um, oh, okay. That's like one word. Okay. So that was pretty neat. The let's see what else is there. Like I said, I liked how Taserface was there. He's still part of the crew. But that means no Rocket, man. No Rocket with T'Challa, no Groot with T'Challa. Those are like the best character, like Rocket, especially one of the best characters. So the whole crew is different, right? It's not even he's with the Ravagers, he's with Yondu. Yondu in this, man, it was a little because I'm used to Yondu, even though he played that fatherly figure and but Yondu is a type of guy who kept that to himself and didn't want to like let his emotions come out a lot when it came to Peter till like, the second movie and you saw hints of it, but it wasn't as blatant in this episode, which it took a little bit to get used to, right? And then especially really being the dad, really like embracing that dad role when it took a little bit for two movies for him to embrace that, but it was very interesting. But because like I said, T'Challa is a different kind of character. It seems like he's just inspires more for people. He wants people to succeed. He wants to help. He's like a Naruto. He's able to talk no jutsu these guys into doing good. Like Yondu says, like that famous the character you keep spouting about, which is Robin Hood. Let's see. Oh, there's Albert, man. What's up, Albert? That's Marvel Albert. Dude, I thought you were at Disneyland. Let's keep reading some comments. Who was the girl with the pink hair? The girl with the pink hair is, if you remember in the first Guardians of the Galaxy, that was the collector's assistant, and she's the one that remember she was holding the stone in her. She was holding the stone in her hand. She got incinerated in that movie, and then that's when it grew and like everybody was running away from the blast. So come on, show the comment. There we go. So that's the girl. What was her? The collector says her name in this episode too. Uh, I can't remember, but that's the collector's assistant. She was in the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie. So she's dead though in that movie. She kills herself basically. Albert says they did Peter so dirty, man. Fuck Peter Krill. The universe was better without him. Oh man, yeah. I get what you're saying. Here's the thing though, is that they're two different characters, right? I mean, you could even say fuck Captain Marvel because T'Challa seems to be doing a damn better job than Captain Marvel. Peter, it's all about upbringing too, because I think T'Challa is so honorable. He like you said, he wants to be an explorer. He has such a good heart. Where Peter is a little bit rough on the edges, a little bit. He grew up. It is kind of like exactly. He's working at DQ, Dairy Queen. I thought that was pretty. I thought that was a slap in the face. Like, oh damn, my boy Peter couldn't even get a nice job. But and Peter, they're two different people. All right, that's what the whole thing about what if. Like, what if somebody took somebody else's life, and sometimes that could switch shoes, and sometimes that could be for the better, and that's sometimes could be for the worse. T'Challa, which is the perfect candidate if it was a what if to make things better. Well, I'm not really knocking Peter. He just, Peter was just trying to live his life, and you got to think that and Peter's upbringing is so different than T'Challa. You know, he never had a father to give him advice. He never had technology. He was never to take the throne. He lived in freaking was it Missouri or something like that. He had a Walkman. He had a mom who died. And this is in like I said, in this storyline, I'm pretty sure Peter's mom still dies in this scenario. So what you've been given, right? T'Challa seems to have always been like, even at a young age, even when they pick him up, he had that leadership to him. Peter really never had that. And I think that's what the Guardians movies does so well, is that, remember, he's still kind of a rebels. He's still kind of like, he's arrogant, he's selfish, but then he comes across this crew, this other family other than Yondu's, who they never changed. So, but when he was able to meet Gamora, who did have a heart, Rocket, who reluctantly had a heart, Groot, and even Drax, like when he came with this crew, it made him a better leader. It made him a better man. He it was just different circumstances. So yes, they did him dirty, but like, yes, it's cool. I mean, T'Challa, if he was Star-Lord, it just, I could see that all happening. But I'm not gonna knock Peter, because Peter just didn't have what T'Challa had, even at that young age. You got to think they're both at this, probably the same age, and they both went through different circumstances. They're both different people. Uh, I think the one thing you got to say with Peter, though, he made a mistake, was when he fucking punched Thanos in the face after, Gamora. But that's emotion. That's like he loves her. So knowing that she died, like, he was pissed. And I mean, emotions get the best of you, I guess, even though it's the fate of the world. But that's what I'm saying, is that yes, they did Peter a little bit dirty here, but then again, it's two different kind of characters, two different kind of circumstances, two kind of different upbringings, two different philosophies, two different, like, they're two different people. And that's the beauty of what if. It's like, okay, you got to think, though. Frank Castle, what if he was Star-Lord? That motherfucker ain't saving the planets, isn't he? He's well, maybe he is, but he's doing it by vengeance. He's killing these motherfuckers. So that'd be crazy. I want to see the Punisher already in the MCU. Even though it's once again, this episode relied on a lot of jokes. It's that Disney formula. So I appreciate I appreciate the uniqueness, especially with the animation and where they're going with it. But damn, do they really throw those jokes in, man? So I would love to see the Punisher in here, or Daredevil in here pretty soon, pronto. So can you really call them Guardians of the Galaxy when there is no Guardians of the Galaxy technically? No, I don't think they're the Guardians of the Galaxy. I don't think T'Challa and his crew are. Maybe this is just another version, right? I mean, we got to remember Sylvester Stallone's character in Guardians of the Galaxy. That was his crew was the original Guardians of the Galaxy in the comics. So, and then, yeah, I guess and then I believe they passed the mantle. So I guess you can call this crew the Guardians of the Galaxy, because technically they are. They're Guardian. They're they're guardians, but yet they're saviors, and they're like Star Trek. I would call them the Enterprise of the goddamn galaxy. um, they're not like I said, they're not the same crew with Drax, Rocket, and stuff. They're not your misfits. They kind of are, but like they're definitely that Robin Hood kind of crew. But I'll say yes, they are Guardians of the Galaxy. They're just a different. They're just not your Guardians of the Galaxy from the movies or even the comics. Albert got back in time for What If. Bro, I'm gonna see Shang-Chi tomorrow. I heard Shang-Chi from the first reactions is phenomenal. That's a lot of praise for this movie. I'm a little I don't want to go in there with super high expectations because I wasn't going in there with super high expectations anyway. I do dig that the main actor is having he has his if you notice he has his jacket and that's that Goku colors, they're throwing the nods to Goku, Kakarot. I think the action was probably going to be good. I heard from I believe John Campia. John Campia said that the action is as good or even maybe better than the Raid. Whoo, that's some big shoes and some big balls to put that claim in there. Um, and I also heard the actor say the main actor. This is what I had an issue. I have a little issue with the some of the. It's still a lot of drama going on with this film and a lot of Disney properties. I believe the main actor said that he's ready to have a hero, that's represent of the Asian culture. Bruce Lee, man, Jet Li, Jackie Chan. I think he said superheroes. Are these people not superheroes? Is Bruce Lee not a superhero? No, he's more of a god. But so I was like, there has been, but I do agree there needs to be more represent of that, especially. I mean, I'm hoping that I go into the movie and I'm hoping it kicks ass for sure. I did enjoy Black Widow, even though I had a lot of problems with it. I still enjoyed it. While Shang-Chi, it's very low expectations, but hopefully I come out of there and it being one of my favorite movies. I'm also hearing that Ben King is his name, Ben Kingsley. The AK Mandarin from the third movie, or yeah, Iron Man 3 might be making an appearance. So that'd be pretty funny. I mean, he would have to if you never seen All Hail the King, the little short. He's in that, and they kind of reference Mandarin, the real Mandarin, in there. Let's see. They're misfits. They are misfits. They're misfits, and I would say they're guardians too. I would call them the Guardians of the Galaxy. Um, it's just a different kind of crew. Got working in a couple of hours. See you next week. I'll see you next week, Lucky. I will definitely see you. See, James is gonna put a thumbs down because he never agrees with me on anything. So, James, you gave this a 10. I can't give it a 10. I can't give it a 10. Wish they would have used the Guardians theme. Thanos was pretty nerfed. There's still pacing issues in the beginning, but it then slows down. What did I not like about this? I think the action sequences, I feel like they could be better. They're good, but it could be better. The collector, I just couldn't. The collector was not as good. I think Benicio del Toro's version of the collector is way better. This one it wasn't the same. I know it was not. It's not supposed to be the same collector, but I don't know. I just felt like you needed Benicio in there. The heist element. The heist element was okay. I think that was the least focused on there. What they had to get. It was more of just the overall kind of like the action sequences. Like I thought the heist element could have been better too. I've seen better heist film or heist elements to it. Um, the so what if is a was it like 9 episodes? So it's not. I don't think it's so far. I don't think it's as engaging as maybe Loki, or you could say like episode 4 of WandaVision, right? Was it episode 4 when they did the reveal? I'm not sure. Or but I think it's a nice. I think so far it's a nice little series. I think it's the first two episodes. I think they're fine. I just not blown away by this yet. The ending though, man, the ending music at the end of this episode really got to me because they did, dedicate this to Chadwick Boseman, and that piece of music was really beautifully done. Uh, but I think What If is fun. I'm very disappointed that they scrapped the Spider-Man What If because I heard the Spider-Man one was supposed to be when Peter becomes the grotesque spider, that would have been great. They do a fantastic episode on that in Spider-Man the animated series. The what was it, the '90s series, and you had Punisher involved, you had Blade involved. So I mean, I'm definitely looking forward to see where this goes. I think the Watcher is an interesting. I don't know crazy amount about the Watcher, but I'm interested to see where it goes. Uh, I only seen 10 minutes of it. What the hell, James? Get out of here! You only seen 10 minutes of the episode. Come on. Um. So I'm gonna say this. Man, how crazy would it be a what if of Old Man Logan? That'd be pretty dope. So, what else can I say about the episode? You can't really talk too much about these episodes so far because they're only 33 minutes. Do I think that I think the first episode could have been longer to give it a little better pacing, but they already had it's not a story that they're trying to tell that I guess should have longer length to it. This one, I do appreciate the fact they slowed down. It feels like they are setting up for like this big multiverse Avengers with Agent Carter, T'Challa. You might even see Killmonger later on. I think maybe we're getting the Iron Man one next episode. I'm not sure, but I'm looking forward to the Doctor Strange one, and definitely the Doctor Strange and the Spider-Man one because I think Spider-Man's going against Wanda. If I saw like how the trailers were and they had a silhouette and it looked like Wanda. So we'll see. So far, it's been not too bad. I can't say it's been amazing. I am enjoying it. I'm not enthusiastic about it, but this episode, like I said, was better than the first episode. So we'll see how the third episode and how that all kind of like how that does. If it is still if it's climbing and getting better and better and better each week. So we'll see. I thought he was going to mix with Doctor Strange Spider Man. I think so. Yeah, I think it's like yeah, I think so. Old Man Logan too violent for Disney blood. Oh, I know. It's come on, Disney, come on, have some balls. It's crazy because Disney. I think the Visions trailer came out for Star Wars. That looks pretty intense because it's like anime based. But man, I would love to see. Why DC kicks Disney's ass with animation? So let me tell you this: the first two episodes of What If, I still don't think it holds a candle to a lot of the DC uh, properties over there with their animation department. I just don't think so. This thing is not wowing me like a lot of what DC does. I think the last movie I saw though from DC was the Justice League Dark Part 2, and that was amazing. I fucking love that movie. I love John Constantine too, though. So you James, you kind of hit it over the head. I like the uniqueness that Disney is bringing to the series, but I mean, they pulled a dark episode of the Spider-Man episode because they viewed it as too dark. Disney, grow some balls, man. Like these first two episodes, well, not this episode, so to speak, but I guess the first episode, Agent Carter and all her crew were killing people. They're shooting guns, they're killing people. Give me a dark episode. Why not? This is because clearly this isn't just catered to kids, but it's catered to the young adult. It's catered to older adults too. So why not? How dark is that episode really? So I hopefully that episode does come out in a deleted or bonus packet or bonus episode if you buy whatever. Just because I would love to see how dark it was. Um, so Disney, just grow some balls. But then again, Disney's in hot water as it is with all their Marvel stars. That's so yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But this episode better than the first episode in my opinion. I can't give it like a crazy 9 or 10. It didn't wow me. Um but it did, and especially the jokes. It's always a hit and miss with Marvel and their jokes, and some of it works and some of it really doesn't. Uh James, but that's against hey Nazis. Oh well, yeah. It's against Hydra. I get it. For some reason, they blocked that comment. James, can you believe that? So yeah, I get that, but it's still violence. It's still killing people. So I don't know. It's it's Disney, man. So the second episode, I did enjoy it. Um, so far, like a lot, I've heard a couple of reviews, and this hasn't been wowing me, like absolutely wowing me, but I did enjoy this episode a lot. I thought it was a lot of fun, and I can't wait to see Chadwick Boseman's last two performances. Damn, I still can't believe he's gone. It's a freaking bummer. I don't know what they're gonna do with Black Panther 2. You know what was great though? Seeing his dad come back too. Seeing his dad come back in this episode. There was definitely a lot of people coming back from previous Marvel movies and stuff, and I really appreciate it. I think that's really cool. Just kind of like, even though they were like side characters and they weren't the biggest characters, it's always nice to see them come back, and especially come back and do some voice work. So all right, guys. Well, I gave it an 8 out of 10. It's I would go higher if it just was a little, I guess maybe the heist aspect was a little bit more intriguing. Maybe the action sequences could have been a little bit better. I did enjoy the action sequence with the Thanos fight and stuff. But I feel like it could be better. I always think it could be better. Um, Visually, it's really great. I do like the animation. It has like that Street Fighter kind of animation, the later on game Street Fighter. But so far I'm enjoying What If. I don't know if it's going to be my favorite series. We're going to have to see. Maybe it's just warming up and it's going to get better along the way, because it seems like it's getting better along the way with the first two episodes. So we shall see. I'm intrigued. I'm looking forward to the Doctor Strange element and the Killmonger element. We'll see how that goes. But with 33 minutes, it does leave me kind of saying like, it still feels like, damn, this is going super quick. And you could tell in this episode still that they're really trying to convey the story as fast as they can, and it's just a little jarring sometimes. Bad Batch, me and you. Oh yeah, we'll do Bad Batch. I need to continue. I need to finish watching that. We'll do that. I already know. I already know some of what happens, so we'll see. So Bad Batch, yeah, look out for Bad Batch. Me and James will do a podcast on that. That's another Disney property. There's a lot of Disney Star Wars stuff coming out. And then we get next week, I'll be at it again. We'll do a live discussion. So of the episode 3 of What If. I think that's going to be the Iron Man episode. Don't hold me on that. I think a lot of people are going to look forward to that one too. But it's great to see Chadwick Boseman's, hear his voice, and it worked a lot better than I thought. I did like T'Challa as Star-Lord. It was really fun. So thank you guys for listening. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Like the video if you like it. It will help out this channel. And also comment below if you think what was your rating on this episode? Do you think it was better than the first episode? Give me a number. I give it an 8 out of 10. I'm headed to bed. It's late. You guys have a good one. Have a good rest of your week. I'm Dan Making this one. I'm out of here. Bye, guys.